Hello, hello, hello. Just like that, we are back. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James. I am here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. Not gonna happen this video, but you know what, you guys? We try our best. Joining me is my co-host, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
I got caught. I ran into the camera. Hey, y'all.
It's all right. Life be life, so that'd be all right. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I see a lot of people viewing my videos, but y'all don't be subscribed now unless y'all are part of the crew. I don't know about y'all, but like, comments, especially if you like what you see. But yes, welcome to those who are new to my channel. We get sit down, we break everything down on these recaps. So any videos that I do not do on my channel, Mrs. Best more than likely does on hers. She covers Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop Miami. We also have a couple of other videos as well that we end up needing to do that they're not putting out there. Y'all, what's going on with reality TV world? I need to insert that for a minute. What is going on? Why are there no shows? There are
There's
no shows anywhere.
nothing.
There's
There's
nothing. And I want to give you guys content, but I cannot give it if it's not out there. The shows that are being thrown out there, some of them I cannot do. I just don't see the concept, purpose of them all. But then, yeah, some shows I'm just like, Shout out to Naya Green, who is joining us in the chat. Hey, Naya, thank you for joining us today. So we have a couple videos lined up. After this one, I'm going to do a brand new video to my channel. It's called Unpopular Opinion. So me and Mrs. Best, after this video, we're going to give an unpopular opinion on something I just learned a long ago. So make sure you stick around for that. So let's go ahead and get into Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 19. This is Reunion Part 1, y'all. I ain't never seen so much foolery and fuckery and gaslighting in all of my life.
just bullshit.
There was way too much going on. I had to watch this 3 times. The first time I watched it, I was not in my state of mind. Right state of mind. I was sleepy, so everything went. I didn't pay attention to nothing. I didn't see nothing. I didn't, look at anything. So I had to watch it a second and a third time to really understand what I was looking at and to really understand what I'm going to talk about, because I'm not going to go over everything. They didn't do anything, but just gaslight one person, and that was unfair. But before we get into that, I'm going to ask Mrs. Best, does her best dress and worst dress change now seeing the episode? And do you remember who your best dress and worst dress was? Mine was Karen for best dress, and I believe my worst dress was Robin, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot just that quick, and I just watched the video. I believe I said Robin. Robin was her dress because I just didn't understand her outfit. Who was your best and worst dress? Do you remember?
I believe my best was Wendy, and I believe my worst was Robin also.
Okay.
After, I don't know if you want me to. It did change for me.
Okay, so it changed for me as well. So now that we gave our worst and best dress based on pictures, now that we've seen the video live, who was your best and worst dress now that you've seen it?
Okay, now that I've seen it live, my best dressed, I'm going to give that to Karen, actually. After seeing Wendy's live, what changed for me was her hair. It looked like blue magic was slicked on her head after a fresh hot comb. It was too shiny. Now, Karen's outfit is what I'm talking about for best dressed. I felt like it fit her body for her age. Karen's makeup was fucking awful, though. And I did think everybody's makeup looked really bad with the exception of Giselle. Everyone's makeup was a little bit too much. But yeah, so my best dressed is now Karen. My worst dressed is now going to Mia. Because when she was walking out and sitting there, like, you could kind of see the concept of that dress through the picture. But then when you see it in person, it just looks like she took a bunch of Yaki, Dina Kali, Bobby Boss, and just looped that thing around her body and tied it into a bow at some parts. I actually like Mia right now. She's on my good side. I never thought I'd say that, but that outfit was something else.
Yes, absolutely. So y'all, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Seeing this live, I didn't like anybody's outfit. Seeing it live, I didn't like anyone's outfit, including Karen's. I was disappointed because they all looked tired. They all
Yeah,
looked like they didn't have the best quality care of the clothes. So
it's
my
cheap.
best,
You being
yes,
nice. Everyone's clothes, and I'm not saying cheap. Like it looks like the clothes you see in the mall, in them stores. That's not really a name or a brand or anything, but selling like club looking attire. That it looks cheap. Like after a couple of washes, the fabric ain't gonna sit right and the color gonna fade.
hmm exactly. So with that being said, my best dress has changed. It was Karen. I did say Karen. I'm actually going to give it to Candace. Only because her hair actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But I loved, as I said, she was giving 50 Shades of Grey tease. And y'all, I just started watching that series. I just finished the third movie. And I didn't think I was going to like it. I really didn't, because I didn't like it. But I'm a different age and also in a different sexuality now. So
Hey,
it
I
makes it.
forgot all about Candace. I take it
Mhm.
back. I forgot because she quit my mind. Candace, I agree, is the best dressed.
Candace, when I
Yeah,
saw what she had, when I
I'm
saw
a
her walking
Louisville
out,
girl.
because and it was funny because I just actually watched the third movie the other night because I have not seen 50 Shades of Grey. I would never watch it because it didn't seem like my kind of movie. So I kind of revisited back to watching it, and I was intrigued by everything. So when I was watching that and I saw Candace's dress, I was like, "Ooh, that is giving me tease of 50 Shades of Grey," and I'm on that movie right now, so I'm gonna give it to Candace only solely based on that bias. Now, my worst dress, and this is going to sound fucked up, but I do not care. My worst dress goes to Aneka. When I actually saw her stand up in the dress and all of the different folds and extra pieces of material, I was like, no, no, that is not the dress. You could have, if she would have eliminated her shoulder pieces, the dress actually would have been beautiful. But the
I
fact that she had the,
told you NECA cannot dress. I knew it based on these synthetic blend wigs that she be having. They're either synthetic blend or she's over flat ironing it and just burning the hair to a
she
crisp.
burnt her hair because I was going to get on that next. She burnt her hair because you could tell she wore her natural hair with a piece, and I felt like she shouldn't have did that. I felt like why not just wear? Why not just get a weave? If you was gonna do all of that, you should have got a weave, or you should have maybe because it seemed like she let her perm sit into. If she gets perm, I don't know if she get perm or not, I don't know, but it's something. But it was just terrible. When I was looking at it, they did a close up on her and her head, and I was like, "Oh, Nneka, they did you wrong. Oh my god!" And actually seeing the dress up live, Nneka is my worst dress. That was terrible. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
it's her first reunion, so I'm gonna not go so hard on her.
I
But
expect a lawyer from California though to do a little bit better, darling.
well, she's
Like
not from. Well, she's not from California. La la la. I gotta get you. She's not from. She's actually from Wisconsin. She's
oh
born
well,
and
yeah,
raised in
they claim her.
Wisconsin, and she moved to California to go to law school. So she's not born and raised. So she actually said that on an interview. She did an interview with some YouTuber, and I actually listened to the interview, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, because I would say she don't dress like, because she didn't dress like a Cali girl to me. I know how Cali women dress. That ain't it. So, oh, Naya, you've been chatting it up in here. Let me read some of this. Gaslit the entire time it was, and we're gonna get into it. I didn't like Karen's as much. I didn't either. I felt like you know what it was. I thought I was gonna love the hair because I loved it in the picture, but when I actually saw what it was given Jan Brady. It was given. It was like, no, Karen, that's not the look. Sorry, that is not the
Here's
look.
the problem. Karen touched her face. That's the problem. She admitted it. I know you'll get to that later, but
Hmm.
Karen touched her face.
I'm
And
probably not gonna get to it. So say it here. 'Cause
so
that
on the reunion, Karen did admit to having work done on her face, but she says the body is her banging natural. But Karen has the face where, in general, she has some people just have those faces. And I
mhm.
feel like her changing her face, it's more noticeable than maybe the average looking Joe. I also feel like
Right.
because she's older, when older people have plastic surgery, it's far more noticeable. Um,
It looks harsh. It looks like it
yeah.
is
And
settled
her
in.
makeup artist really fucked her up with that. Karen's makeup was terrible. The eye makeup was just odd. And if you're going to touch your face, you got to be careful with how you put gloss and lip liner on your lips because it'll make you look like a duck lip, and that's not cute
Hmm.
at all.
Wendy looked uncomfortable. I agree. I think the hair choice was, Mrs. Best was saying, the hair choice was not my favorite, especially because Wendy, hands down, has been given all season, especially with the hair. Like the wigs were wigging. So the fact that she chose this wet look, I don't like it. It just was not for me.
That's what happens when you try too
Local
hard.
boutique down the street vibes. You know what? You know who gave more so local boutique was Ashley. Ashley gave more. Oh, said it right here. Ashley looked the fool from her forehead on down. Yeah, because her outfit was very reminiscent of Candace. It looked like she called Candace. What are you wearing at the reunion? And
My
Candace told her,
husband was watching and he was like, her outfit's not bad. He was like, niggas will like it. But what did he say? He said something really probably not the nicest about Ashley and how she dresses. Her hair stressed me out though, because she has so much forehead. And then they took her hair, put it back, but gave her a part that's like just stiffened up. I get
"Was
what they
that
were,
leave out? Was
huh?
that leave out? It was leave out, wasn't it?
Whatever it was,
Okay, because I thought it was a wig. I
with
thought
her forehead size, and Ashley's a beautiful girl, but she does have a big old head. And I believe that when you have that, you got to be careful what you do with your hair. She did a side part way at the
Well,
back of
why
her
she
head,
didn't get
so
a?
it made
Well,
it
she
look.
should have got a bigger lace front then, and then put it down here. So like Quad be doing, because Quad does that, where
Yeah,
she has her lace front, and it's like way, because Quad got a big ass forehead too, but she put her lace front way down here. So
yep.
yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why she didn't do that.
I
But
don't know, but I
it did
didn't
look
feel
like a helmet.
anybody
It looked.
looked. I didn't feel anybody at this reunion. I have to say, looked reunion worthy outside of Candace and Karen. And I didn't even care for Karen's outfit like that. But they were the only two, in my opinion, who looked like reunion worthy.
Naya, let me say, if you're talking about Ashley, if we're still on that, I don't believe her hairstylist is black. I don't. I don't believe her hairstylist is black at all. So that's why I don't feel like that's why her hair always looks like this. She does this every single reunion. Ashley can never get that hair right for no man, and it's because she won't wear her own hair. She won't wear her. I wish she would wear her own hair and just stop playing because she
We
has a.
loved Ashley's like see the early seasons when she was running around with that hair. And people did actually at one point give her some shit about it. I don't understand why black people do that. If somebody want to wear their hair natural, let them. Don't be telling them
Yeah,
about
I
how
didn't mind the natural. It's when she started flat ironing it and making it straight is when I had a problem because straight hair doesn't fit her.
no, it doesn't.
So, but yeah, that explains that she had a white woman. Yeah, exactly. It was definitely giving Catherine back Deuce of Hazzard. That's what her hair was giving. So we all yes, and no shade to Catherine back because I love her. I do. I love Catherine back, y'all. But that's what actually reminded me of sitting here. So we're going to go into the reunion. As we know, the seating chart has obviously changed. We know that Giselle, for the last 7 seasons, has sat right next to Andy. She has not moved her seat on the right side of him. So when she comes out, she realizes, well, who's sitting there? And he said, Karen. And she goes, oh, and looked around like, oh, okay, that's fine. I
Mhm.
said, yeah, burst your bubble. So as all the ladies come out, Andy actually says, he gives what is that called? Because I do it all the time on my channel. What is that called? Not a subtitle. Shoot, I'm spacing on the word. Not a
Oh,
subliminal. Oh, I'm spacing on the word. Oh my god, and I say it all the time.
oh.
Oh, oh dang. Oh my god, this is gonna kill me. So basically gives he's like, look, my hope for all of you is to find some sort of hi, Jim Bunny. Thank you for joining us. I hope that this reunion we find some common ground, which basically he's saying y'all finna lose your jobs. I can't. I'm only can do so much. That's what he was saying at this reunion. He wasn't saying nothing else. And I was like, Andy, this is the problem, and this is what you're not seeing. You are letting the women of this show produce themselves, and they're producing themselves into where they don't have to show up to everyone's events. They don't have to get along. They don't have to speak to each other. So how is 8 women on a show, probably the most cast members you've ever had on any of your shows? How are they supposed to? How are they supposed to be in the show and actually be successful if they're making their own rules? Yeah, he
Mm.
definitely warned them.
He did, and he's
So
never done anything like that really. on honestly any of the like the Housewives franchises, like to where the whole cast has to get a warning. Like everyone has like the Housewives of New Jersey. Oh, my camera's off. Sorry, y'all. The Housewives of New Jersey is a good example for those who watch it and even those who don't. A lot of that cast knows each other, and then the other half of the cast they don't know each other or know of each other. So it's kind of similar to Potomac, but I feel like New Jersey has the same beefs, like literally season after season after season. It's literally the same freaking beefs that people go over and over again. And so Potomac is like that too, but difference in New Jersey is they will have those beefs and still interact with each other. They will still go on a cast trip all together. These Potomac chicks are like, I'm not going. I'm not going to film. Oh, maybe I'll do this. I'm mad at you because of what you said in 2015, and that's right. And it's a little bit old. Listen, if you're going to keep the same fucking beef going season after season, fine. New Jersey's doing it, but they're not doing it in this like catty way and going over shit that like once they say, all right, we're past this part, they get past that part, except for Teresa. But you know, it's when it's the whole cast acting like Teresa, it's annoying as hell. I'm annoyed with this cast, and this was the worst reunion I've watched in years. That is all.
It really is, which is why we're not going to cover all of it because it was only a few points. Jim Bunny, James, the book is good, but you need to shop it around for your TV show. Thank you so much for giving me your feedback. I really do appreciate it. There are more variations. If you read the last page, it says to be continued. Fraternity Row is going to have 5 volumes, and one of the characters in the book, German, will have his own spin-off show because one of the biggest things that I got as requests is people want to know how he came into so much money. Sorry, spoiler alert for everybody. People wanted to, every editor and every person at the publishing company asked that question. It's very vague. You need to say how he came into that money. And so I was like, okay, I'll give him a spin-off. So they asked me to do that, and I will. So that one I know is coming out for sure. I just haven't finished it yet. But the other ones, it's going to take me some time. But yes, I will shop it once all the volumes are complete, which I hope to get finished by the time I'm 40. So I have 6 more years. But thank you so much for reading it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for buying it. That meant so much to me. You have no idea. I actually almost shed a tear because I don't think my book has been purchased for a few months. So that made me just warm-hearted. So thank you, Jim Bunny. Appreciate you. So what else did you say here? Ooh, Giselle is so unlikable. We don't get a turn. Real Housewives of New Jersey is, and I heard, and I'm like, oof. I heard they're the same way, and I'm like, y'all need something to produce.
No, when I say is they've been beefing over the same shit since I was 18. I'm 31, y'all. On New Jersey, they've been beefing over the same thing since I was 18. I'm like, oh, please get over it. I'll be recapping it.
And I will be joining on a couple of episodes because I don't like any of them. I only like the lady with the blonde hair. That's the only one I like. But anyways,
Margaret.
Yeah, Margaret. So we pan over to Robin, and the questions come up about Juan. Why is Juan not here, Robin? Juan felt like he didn't need to be here. He didn't want to have to, answer any questions. He's already showed up the entire season. What more do you want? And it was like, Robin. Robin, 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 Robin. The problem that I have with Robin, y'all, and I don't know if it's how she was raised. I don't know if it was how, she came into life not knowing or having any self guidance. I don't know what's wrong with Robin, but I feel like you need a bigger poker face than that because what I expected her to do is say, Juan ain't cheat on me. I don't care what y'all saw. And I love him at the end of the day. Robin didn't do any of that. Because if you're going to stand with him and be beside him, that's what you should have said. The fact that she said, oh, well, I don't know what to believe. I can't say anything is for certain. If you know your man and you stick it beside him, you could do the Wendy Williams. I don't know what y'all talking about. I ain't seen him cheat, so he ain't cheating. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Mrs. Best, am I wrong?
No.
Please answer the question. Am I wrong? Y'all in the chat, answer this question. Am I wrong?
You either, if you're going to stand beside him, you either take the side of which is if he doesn't want to talk about it and you go stick beside him and forgive him or whatever the hell, then you need to also not be talking about it. But by her trying to talk about it and him not coming to back her or any of it, it just makes them look like a broken unit. And so you are right. It's better to just not say shit or bullshit people away and never answer a question. For her to go from I don't want to talk about it to well, I'm now going to talk about it if for those who pay to oh, now I'm crying. Like it doesn't make any sense. Robin is special in in,
Very much so.
in her own way. And I cannot say that positively. I really don't care who drags me for being mean. Um, I can't stand a bitch. I really can't. Like it's kind of pathetic. Just let us know like what is it? Is there a contractual agreement that you have? Do you all have like an
It
agreement?
has to be something. You know what it is? You know what I think it is? Because we saw a little bit in the show. Um, this comment right here. But
Just
the
choke the
problem here, this comment right here. But the problem with Robin is that I feel like he messes with her self esteem. And I feel like she does not like it, but she doesn't want to be alone at the same time.
no. I don't think that. I think that
You
Robin
know?
does have low self esteem. I think that
Okay.
that's clear. She doesn't carry herself in a confident way. I have the feeling that she's always been that way. I don't think it all comes from the things that transpired in her marriage to Juan previously with the cheating and all of that. I feel like she's always kind of been insecure, and I also feel like the girl's a little bit of a dingbat. I just do. Like think of the dumb blonde equivalent in the black community. For me, that's Robin. I know that sounds really, really mean, but after so many years, though, like people live and learn, especially with me being a psych major, my brain goes to that. People really do live and learn. Your environment and things you go through changes how you behave and things of that nature. But after so long, people become cognizant of how they are. I feel like Robin is aware of the bullshit, is aware that she looks stupid. I genuinely, truly think she does not care. But then at the same time, I think she does care. I just want her to go away because no matter what direction Robin goes with interacting with the ladies on the cast or dealing with rumors in her household, she fails at how she handles it. And it's like, we want to be nice, but you're forcing people to kind of bully you. Like, just go away. Or say that you have an open marriage. Look at me, Mia and the bald
Ooh, we
man.
gonna get. I can't wait to get into that segment. Oh my gosh, Mia
But
is
no, you
crazy.
gotta like without going into it. She was honest about it. Mia hasn't denied shit. Yeah, I was a stripper. Yeah, I fucked him while he was married. Yeah, I did this. When you do that, then it's like, what can people say? If you're like, yeah, and
But see, the
so
problem with Mia is that even though she is real with it, there is lies in between. So I feel like I can't quite post to her the transparent child, but also I can't say that in her terms she is wrong because overall she did what she was told to do. It just didn't play out the way it was supposed to play out.
yeah, I don't
But
know
oh
what
y'all, hold on, I
Robin
got
would,
yeah.
but
Karen
she's
gets
a
her.
pimp.
Okay, I clicked on this one. Rob can go back into private citizen. She really can. She need to go back to working at Kinko's or wherever she was working at before she got on the show. What
James
Karen
is
eats Robin up every time. Mia be lying, so but she's a
he
pimp.
said she a pimp.
Yeah, she is a pimp. That is a pimp. When I tell y'all, Mia need to teach a class because Mia got it all. I promise you. She had to scale back a little bit and save face, but she got it all. I'm telling y'all. So it then turns into Robin keeping Juan's infidelity or alleged infidelities. I have to say that because there's never been.
Listen, no, fuck that. I'm sick of it. Come after Mrs. Best Reviews. I don't believe it's alleged, and I am allowed and entitled legally to have and state my personal opinion on stuff I see on TV based on what has been presented to us. This man is in laundromats more than he's in the house with you. So one would think that you're out doing what a married man with another female at the laundromat. I wish the hell my husband, I would kill him. I really would. You don't even have to cheat. Why are you here? We don't like
I
laundry.
agree. Yeah, like I agree. So, but what I will say is this: it then segues to Robin being on Watch What Happens Live and saying that I thought Karen was going to bring it up, and it was like, how would you think Karen was going to bring it up when you're here to tell your own story? So Robin said the whole season she believes him. Then at the reunion, she says she don't know what anyone does. It's yeah, because she's trying to confuse everyone's narrative, and we're not stupid. But it then circles back to after Karen. She goes, Robin, you couldn't have thought that. Like you couldn't have sat here. There's no way that you would really think I would bring up that situation in spite of you having the floor to bring up your own stories. There's no way you thought that. It then circles back to her bringing up Chris and that information about that. Candace feels strongly in this that they used Chris's situation with Giselle and also Sesame Street and whoever else, Ashley over there, that they were using that to detour Juan's infidelity. And I absolutely agree with that. I think that they were trying to do it because we know these conversations happen behind the scenes. It happened with Monique, it happened with Wendy. So we know that they like to do this. So I absolutely 100% agree. So Andy then poses the question, to Robin and Candace because they did have a friendship. What would it take for you guys to bury the hatchet? And Candace immediately starts crying. This is where Giselle pissed me off at. She goes, not the tears. And then she says, tears, 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 and starts clapping like the mama did in the clumps. And I'm like, see, Giselle, this is what we be talking about. Not you trying to patronize someone else's feelings based on a friendship she had with your friend. Because if she did that to you, it would be all hell up in there. But the fact that you sat up there and did that and then gonna laugh about it and everyone tells you, hey, that was me. Don't do that.
I think that they were trying. I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish it, then I'll explain what I think.
Because I would have snapped as well. See, and the problem that I have with Giselle, and this is what we're talking about when it comes to the colorism thing. Because Giselle's gonna have a segment where she cries as well. So if Candace goes, oh my God, tears, 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 would she be wrong? I'm just saying, would she be wrong? So, but that's the shows. What were you going to say? Because I'm curious to hear your opinions.
I feel as though Giselle and Robin planned everything that they did at this reunion based on their behavior. There's lots that was exposed. I know you'll get to that, like Giselle or Robin talking shit about each other to bloggers, things of that nature.
I'm going to talk about the next bit. Go ahead.
But I feel like they pre-planned and are very calculated. I think that Giselle and Robin are the two people who pay most attention to what the audience is saying outside of the show. Candace has relatively thick skin. People, y'all drag Candace to the audience, and they know that they drag Candace. They just do. And most of the things that she's been dragged for are truly, like she says, her responses, which are a lot to other people's bullshit. So when it comes to Giselle and Robin, I think that they know that. And I think that's why Giselle felt safe to do that with Candace. I think she was hoping Candace would snap or be provoked so that she could paint her as the violent person that these women have tried to paint her with again. I don't care how many times she waves around a spoon or a goddamn fork. I'll tell you this, if you ain't had one thrown at you, security ain't had to keep her from hurting you, then she's not violent. I feel like they wanted to provoke her. It didn't work. And I feel like Giselle is only upset with Candace because I feel like what Candace is saying is likely true. I do think that Giselle and Robin probably want to come for her as much as they can. It just doesn't make sense. You accuse this woman's husband of horrible actions that resulted in him actually losing income. This actually affected his life off of the show. What has Candace done to affect Giselle or Robin's life off of the show? Robin is giving the anger that she needs to give to Juan to Candace. It doesn't make any sense. So
let's go ahead and tie that in this because it's all is relative. So then it comes up that the Giselle versus Candace situation comes up, and when Candace let it out her mouth last reunion calling Giselle a colorist and said that she has white privilege and white looking and everything, Giselle ties it in that she has gotten death threats and that it was connected to what Candace was saying about her. And then on this season, Giselle said, instead of her taking accountability, she says, fuck Giselle, fuck Giselle. Giselle's an N. Giselle is, all of these things. And Candace said, yeah, I did say that. And Andy tries to chastise Candace, which I did not like. I did not like. Yes, exactly. And that was one example of the favoritism that y'all should have caught. A lot of people didn't catch that because people say, well, Candace does do too much with her Twitter fingers.
Mm-mm.
Candace is responding to what she is seeing on TV. And actually, I think it was Bondi Blue who said this. I believe it was Bondi Blue. She says that anytime they go on Twitter, they go on YouTube, they do interviews, is an extension of the show because it engages people to watch. Oh my gosh, she dropped this tea. I need to go ahead and tune in to see if I can catch it myself. So it is an extension. So Candace liking certain tweets or liking certain posts on IG in relation is what she probably experienced. And see, and that's why I'm mad at Andy because it was all like the tweets that she's liking is what she experienced and what she's saying. She's calling a thing a thing. Why are we chastising her about that?
I don't like how Andy does this. And this is why I personally feel Andy Cohen should not be hosting any of the primarily African American or minority cast shows, whether it be the old Shahs of Sunset or Housewives of Atlanta. I don't think he's inept to deal with culture the way that he thinks that he is, because he's dealt with culture for multiple decades on the scale of the entertainment industry, which we know is biased against people of color to some extent.
Absolutely.
And it's
Absolutely.
just the fact he what he did to Candace annoyed the hell out of me, because it's just like, you are separate from that. This is California. You're technically one of their supervisors. You cannot play favorites. You cannot harass and do these things to this woman. I don't like the way he handles it. Candace says so much on the internet in such a rough way, but she's not touching anybody, and she's not just doing it out the blue. She is responding to bullshit. And in this case, like maybe in the past it's been smaller, but with Monique, someone tried to attack her. She was warranted. And then with this shit, you have these people coming for her spouse and her family and her husband, bringing up rumors that have been proven to be not true about cheating mistresses and shit. It's just, they're still kind of slandering her character. And I really hope that Candace quit the show so that she could sue these hoes. Because if you
I
can't
would
win,
have,
you
yes.
gotta sue them.
I would, yes. I hope that's why she quit as well, because I would be suing the hell out of people,
Yes.
especially when it comes to, especially Chris. Chris has every reason to press charges against Giselle because that was slander on his name. And there was a lot of confusion behind this. And this is where I'm going to get upset. So Candace imposed to Giselle that you insinuated that her husband SA. Y'all know what that is. I cannot say that here on YouTube because apparently they get mad about that. So they, you alleged that he SA'd you, and Giselle said no, I didn't. I said that he asked me to go into a room. He knew my crew was not in there, and that's what happened. So they played it back, y'all. And Giselle said in a confessional that he forced me to go into a room, and he forced me. It was like you said forced. So when you said that, all credibility goes out the window. It not being, now it may not be necessarily sexual assault. It could be a form of harassment. The one that comes to mind is coercion. I think I'm saying it wrong. Coercion. I never because that is
Coercion.
coercion. Yes. And what that is, and I'm going to read the definition for you guys because I actually screenshotted it. So the definition of coercion is to the act or process of persuading someone forcefully to do something that they do not want to do. It is vital that the election should be free of coercion or intimidation. So basically, that can hold up in a line of court of it being harassment. And when someone accuses someone of harassment and that's not what's proven on the show, and it loses them to, and it causes them to lose any type of endorsements or employment, that's vials of slander which you can sue for. So for Aneka to be the attorney in the room to say that it would not hold up in a court of law, um, ma'am, what kind of law do you practice again?
It doesn't even matter. I was an HR manager in the state of California for over 13 years, y'all. And we had to learn laws on harassment because, one, if you're a manager, they can't just sue the company. You can personally be sued as well. That's one. California has all these extra laws to where we have to, managers have to take like courses and shit to keep up with them. And they're constantly changing as people vote. What Giselle did do to Chris can count as harassment and retaliation to some extent. The things that she's doing are just not okay. Candace and Chris really, I know that Bravo probably had them sign something for stuff like this, but I say come after who you can come after, because regardless, the way that Giselle painted it at first was negative. There's multiple people on the show too in court, and they will subpoena footage where they show the women like trying to explain to Giselle that this is painted a certain way and that it looks bad. And Giselle saying, I don't care. So that in itself would fuck her up in court, to say the least. So it's just wild to me that they had to play the foot. It was a waste of time, and that just shows to me there's nothing else that happened this fucking season. Because why do we need to see what we watched last season? Why the fuck am I discussing some shit that I saw in 2022? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So
Exactly. I'm gonna read Jim Bunny's comment. My thing is, where is the Giselle's evidence about the D threats? She needs to get the cops involved, do an investigation, pull the IP addresses. You know, I said that as well in my text with Mrs. Best. I feel like she can't prove it.
mm-mm.
And I feel like Candace also said, if you did get them, we all have gotten. There are YouTubers that talk about this as well. They get death threats about, people when they don't like certain reality TV stars or certain movie stars or certain celebrities.
Listen,
They come
I've
with
gotten them because I work with a lot of independent artists. I do feedback for music reviews, and have been people who I've been like, "Oh, you need to work on, chopping your vocals, using less auto tune, and find a better engineer." Next thing I know, in my request folder, messages, emails, we're gonna fucking kill you and your husband, bitch, and all this crazy stuff. So I think anybody who's exposing themselves to the public and society is going to experience it. Hell, retail workers probably have gotten them. Like,
right.
so
Yeah.
Giselle, that's just, she really does act like a Black Karen though, to some extent. And that's why Candace said what she said. Giselle don't look white. I think that was just BS and she was emotional, but like, come on, lady. Just come on. She,
Mhm.
I'd be sick of
I
her.
agree. It's like you have a problem when it comes to
The farmer.
black. I mean, it could have been. Isn't that what they said about um what was her name? Not Diana Jenkins. Is
On
that her
Beverly
name?
Hills. That
Beverly
is,
Hills?
yeah.
That is her name? Okay. Isn't that what she said when she did the full investigation about Garcelle's son, that they said it was some bots?
Yeah. And then when Garcelle did her investigation and the state did their investigation, it came back to Diana and Lisa Rinna.
Mm. Oh, okay.
So,
Well,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm just saying, hey, but I don't know. I just feel like for me watching this whole season, they need to do a cast shakeup because overall, this cast does not sustain any of this. Like they don't sustain ratings, they don't sustain entertainment. They don't film with each other. They don't like each other. So why do we have to sit and force this? There's nothing else that happened at this reunion, y'all, that I feel like is worth talking about outside of Mia and Gordon, which we kind of ended on them. But there was nothing else that I remember or that I recall, even looking at my notes now, that I really feel like is worthy of talking about.
This was really a reunion of semantics almost. And that is not, you can't do a whole episode or expect people to be engaged with the small semantics and details of things. It doesn't work that way. So they definitely need a cast shakeup. Here's how I feel. If you have to fucking warn the cast at the beginning of a reunion publicly that their jobs will be at risk if they can't find a way to make peace, then you have to get rid of your cast because they will pretend to make peace and still be stale and act funny so they can collect their check. They're not going to change, especially people like Giselle. These women are not going to change. What she said, Giselle is truly the root of ratings problems. Fire her, clean the cast, and come back strong. I also feel like if they don't want to get rid of everybody and want to, just keep this cast, I think they have to get rid of Robin and Giselle. They have to, at the very least, because Robin and Giselle are actively plotting and setting plans to attack people in ways that divides the audience, makes the network look bad, and is impacting people's lives outside of the show. So that's dangerous.
Honestly, y'all, it is, and I agree with that. It is dangerous to keep those two on the payroll when they're alleging all of these dangerous things, and then people having actual consequential actions behind their words. Like it's been alleged that Chris lost his job at the W Hotel behind the incident with the Deborah's situation and whatever happened there. So it's really hard for me as somebody that watches the show and that watched since day one to look at these two women on this podcast going all around and then coming on this show doubling down on that saying he did this, he's a sneaky link, he forced me to go in this room with him, and I said I was uncomfortable. And I said from day one, Giselle can be uncomfortable with that whole situation. I get it. I get it. But the problem with Giselle, I feel like, is the problem she said after she said that statement. She said, I had a lot of married men try me. And seeing that's your ego. That's your ego telling you that you it on the stick. So you
That,
think that
that's
everybody is going
the
to be,
colorist perspective
yes.
too, because she
Hmm.
comes from a time where she was considered a red bone, and especially going
Right.
to an HBCU, which is a wonderful thing, but you were red bone at a HBCU, and your father and your family is known in Black history, fighting for civil rights and things of that nature. So I feel like Giselle in her youth was viewed as like a prize. And I feel like that probably gets to her. She needs to go though. And
No, it does get to her.
Ashley does too. Shit.
No, but the problem with Ashley is that Ashley didn't come from any of that. Ashley came
Yeah.
from the bottom and
Hmm.
thought getting to the top was her marrying some old ass man, knowing that she had daddy issues and stuff, and him giving her the life that she always wanted, but realized that came with so many conditions that she wasn't ready to get with at the end of the day. The
I,
threesomes, everything that she had said on TV.
I feel like this is fucked up, probably inside note, but I feel like another reason a cast refresh is needed is because of Michael suing Candace. In no way, if these ladies aren't allowed to sue each other, then I don't feel like their spouses that they're still legally married to should be allowed to either. They should have to sign something. I don't see the point in having a housewife that can't show her husband ever either. It's like if you don't want to film, or the people in your life don't want to film, even if it's not all the time, but they should at least agree to film like 10 to 15% of the time. If they don't want to do that, then why do we need them? They just went wrong in a lot of ways. We got husbands that's ditching reunions, other husbands that's arguing with women when they should not. We got like we just hoping Ray can still stand. Like, there's just too much with these husbands. I'm over it. And Happy Eddie, he can't say anything without Wendy getting on his ass. So we know that he's just like a robot for her damn near. So I can't.
I don't necessarily get robot from him, but I do get like he is afraid to open his mouth and have an opinion. And it was more so, it wasn't even Wendy that did it. It was more so the whole Dr. Ike, and that Aneka situation. It made me feel like he was scared to say, "Yeah, I do know you." So, well,
That's the second time I almost choked on coffee on this live.
yes.
Oh my
No, but
god.
no, but here's the thing. I'm gonna say this about Eddie is that I don't want, because he seems the least problematic out of all the husbands. I don't want him to fall into the guidelines because Wendy wants to be on this show. I don't
Yeah.
want him to fall into those guidelines. They tried with him. Wendy shut it down immediately, and I'm glad that she did. She's the only one I feel like that was proper with her get back to Giselle and Robin. The other ones I feel like did it in a way where you were giving them what they wanted. Wendy shut it
Mhm.
down before it could even see daylight.
Yeah.
And I'm telling, and before I move on to Mia, Neka, I know you tee and with the light ones, and Ashley and the Mias and the Giselle and the Robins going out to dinner with them every time. I see it on IG, but be careful because I was once Wendy,
Listen,
so be
separate
careful.
from the be careful. Where's that meme of that lady being arrested? You about to lose your job. You hanging out with the people who are allegedly about to lose their damn job. Like, Vaneka, I don't know. I feel like she's someone who has a law degree. I just get a feeling she's never like practiced law on a serious scale, especially knowing the background of her.
I tried to find her LinkedIn, I couldn't find it, and I think she has her maiden name on her LinkedIn. I do, because I couldn't find it. I'm gonna try again. Maybe I was searching it wrong, but yes, I'm going to, because I need to know what kind of law she practices. I do. It's bothering me that she would say that.
Well, she may not understand, but then again, no, I can't defend that because she says she was spending time in California. Because I know there's lawyers in my family, a lot of them, oddly, they're actually mad I'm not a lawyer, side note, but there's a lot of them, the ones we have in like the South or like
Mhm.
on the East Coast, they don't. or aren't familiar with California law fully. Like you learn about it, I guess they say, but there's like additional courses and questions on the bar here than it is there's some shit they said. I'm not a lawyer, y'all. But
This is how I'm going to predict it. I'm gonna predict it like this because Jim Bunny just brought something to my attention. NECA, they will flip on you, girl. And then Naya said NECA was sparking too much for me. Like, bitch, fix your face, you for your storyline and your makeup. So here's my thing about this about NECA because we saw how aggressive I could get. We saw it at that pickleball event. I guarantee y'all, if she comes back next season and Giselle's on this show, something's gonna happen where he's going to do that and Giselle's gonna get uncomfortable. I guarantee you that's the next storyline because we've seen it time and time again. She ain't gonna be able to do that to Wendy because Wendy's too smart, and because Aneka chose the wrong side. That's how I feel like it's going to happen. Mark my words, y'all. Watch Your Mouth Review said it first. That is exactly how. If she comes back, that's if Neka comes back and Giselle comes back. But I feel like that's where they're going to turn on each other because it's going to happen. We already see it coming. So here we go. But that was pretty much. Oh, Mia. Ooh, how I forget about Mia. So they break for lunch. Mia FaceTimes Ink and has Gordon in the room with her. And I said, Mia, you better do it, oh pimp. Like she a real one. When I tell you I ain't never seen no shit like that. And she goes, hi, baby. Say hi to Gordon. He's right behind me. He goes, and Gordon's so stupid. Hey, man, how you doing? And he's like, oh, man, I see you with that black on. And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here?
they have to listen, I know everybody's used to the whole situation, but let me explain to you what I think going on real quick. I don't even think it's pimping since pimping since pimping since been pimping since been pimping. What I think is actually going on, Gordon is broke, y'all. We heard them discussing how he got to get money from Mia. She probably feels like she owes him something to some extent because even though, yes, she obviously was gold digging and things of that nature, I think she genuinely does care about him to some extent, right? They just ain't meant to be and all of that. But I have a strong feeling that she was like, if you participate with me in this, we could both still be on the show because they got kids. So probably show them co-parenting with the Ink Man and all of that. I feel like she got his ass to cooperate so that he could continue getting the check. That way she could probably get her divorce because he did not. He made it very clear, want to divorce her. He said, go live your life, do what you do, but we going to stay legally together, financially and all of that.
I don't think she's gonna stay legally married to him. I don't.
I
I
feel like
think
she might.
I don't think she will because she desperately wants to be. But she even said she's gonna be divorced for Ashley. She desperately wants to be with this Ink guy now that she got them coins up. So I feel like she's going to divorce now. What Gordon should do is sue her for spousal because he has proof that she was with him for the money because she said it on national TV.
I don't think
So
he is. I really feel like she got him to agree because even if they divorce, if he's still willing to be filmed and let the kids be filmed on the show through the divorce and things like that, he can get his check and get his money back up while doing his business. I feel like she
so
got him to
here's
do
the thing
something.
with Bravo, and this is where I'm about to get you. Here's the thing with Bravo. According to Dr. Heavenly, the husbands are not paid on the show.
They are on New Jersey Housewives.
That was a different production company. The
Yeah.
black ones are not. The black ones are not. Yes, I don't know about Beverly Hills either. That's why, but from what she said, because they all have the same. They all have the same producer. I don't think that they are paid. I don't. Now they may get other business deals or other endorsements outside of this. They might, like Todd does. But
That's what I feel like because all the husbands end up leaving, like just being on TV, especially at NBC network. I'm sure that business deals, brands, people are hitting him up for things, probably events. It's better for him to be cool with Ink because they're going to have to get to know each other anyway, because we know at least one of the kids is for sure Gordon's. And so then on top of that, she wants to film them. I feel like right now his focus is money, especially with what she was saying led to the demise of the marriage and being so focused on getting back at his siblings, getting his money back, all of that. I feel like the focus is money, and being peaceful with her ensures that he has some type of income coming in because it will keep him relevant, if anything. So I don't.
I mean, yeah, that's that. I agree with that. I do. I agree with that, but at the same time, I just don't. For some reason, I don't see her moving in that way. I feel like she's going to leave him out destitute. I do. I feel like she's going to leave him out not destitute in a way where he's not going to have anything, but I feel like she is going to agree to spousal to get rid of him so she can be with this man. I don't feel like when Gordon said hi, I die. I did too. I did too. But what
Oh,
I'm gonna say is
sweetie.
that yeah, I laughed. I was like, "Oh, you really crazy." But I just feel like she's going to try to speed up this process. I really don't think she wants to be married to this man anymore. The money is dried up. He can't even get. He's suing his family, wasting
No,
more
she's going
money.
to divorce him, but through the divorce, he's going to still be up
I
in
think
her
he's.
face.
I think he'll get spousal
He
because
can.
it's the code of conduct. She said on TV, "I was a gold digger." Well, not in those words, but like she said, I married him for money. She did say that. So
A couple of
judge might
times.
look at yeah. Judge might look at that, but like, oh, okay. Well, since you got the money now, pay him. I feel like that's what he gonna get a settlement out of that. I do. And we'll wait to see what happens. We'll wait to see next season because I know for sure Mia is coming back next season because she saved the show. He's moving across the street. How divorced can they be? They ain't divorced yet, but he paying for the property, so or she paying for the property, so we'll see. But I feel which is a waste of fucking money at the end of the day. Have your place because how their living situation, how she explained it, he has his place, she has her place, and then the kids still live in that condo that they were having while they were filming. That's what she said on Watch What Happens Live. That is a waste of money. That is a complete waste of money. But as I said, I knew kids who grew up like that as well. When their parents divorced, they didn't want to keep them removed from their family home. So one parent stayed one week, the other stayed the next week. It was the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life, but it does happen. Um, they moved like 9 times, not as much as Married to Medicine's Toya and Eugene. They moved more than anybody I ever seen on reality TV. But that was pretty much it, you guys. Nothing really else happened that I feel like is worth talking about. We'll see how they'll keep us entertained. I am looking forward to the Wendy and Aneka situation because I didn't talk about it the entire season. So the reunion is going to be a place where I do talk about where they are now, and hopefully they can resolve that issue. Because I'm telling you, NECA, Giselle finna turn on you. I'm telling you, it's coming. Um, and that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else. But as I said, I have an unpopular opinion video coming up after this. Overall, we're going to talk about something I've never talked about on YouTube. I didn't even watch the show. Mrs. Best is excited for it because she does watch the show. So y'all come over to the next video and we're gonna give an unpopular opinion. This will be the first time. So
Hug
we'll see
one,
you guys.
Saya.
Yes, we'll see you guys in the next video. You guys, see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.